This is the Trinity Broadcasting Network, celebrating 35 years of God's miracles.
And now, Behind the Scenes International Report with TBN founder and president Paul Crouch. Join us for Paul's Around the World Daily Report to you, our partners.
I will bless the Lord at all times, and His praise shall continually be in my mouth. I'm Paul Crouch Jr., filling in for the founder-president. Dad had other things to do today, so it is my honor today to go live at 5. In fact, if you're watching Tuesday, April 14th at 5 p.m. Pacific, we are live coming out of our telethon. In fact, we still have a whole room, or actually almost a room and a half, of precious prayer partners right here. If you were listening to Benny Hinn preach and you couldn't get in during the regular portion, call now, because I promise you, you'll get in now. We have just actually come out of, almost 2 weeks ago, our main spring 2009 Praise-a-thon. And you know, giving, I'm going to give you my little 2-minute take on giving, because, you know, in Christian television, there's 2 ways that we can be supported. We either run commercials about every 8 or 10 minutes, like you see on commercial television, or you viewers simply support us. And for 36 years, that's what we have chosen to do. For 2 times a year, we run week-long telethons, and we simply say, if you love Christian television and you want to see it go around the world, simply give. And that's what telethon is all about. You know, we get yelled at all the time that, oh, all you guys do are preach the prosperity gospel, give to get, give to get. And you know what? I truly believe that if you give properly, joyously, and out of a heart of abundance, God will bless you. I truly believe that. But it's up to you. If you give to get, or you give thinking you're going to hit the spiritual lotto, then God doesn't necessarily bless that. It's really decided by you. If you give joyously, He will bless you. And I promise you that this is good soil here at TBN. And if you are blessed by TBN, to me that's the bottom line. If you eat at this table, you should give and support us. If in the middle of the night, you know, you've ever woken up and had a spiritual need and flipped on TBN, and we've helped you and blessed you, then you should support. And that, to me, really is the bottom line. You pay where you eat. If you go into a restaurant, you pay there when you dine at that restaurant. And just like this precious person, and we get thousands of letters like this every week, I love TBN. It has been there for me for 34 years in my darkest hours. I don't know what I would do without Christian television. It is beyond a blessing. It is like a life preserver to a drowning person. And like I said, we have gotten literally thousands of letters like this. You know, you may not need us now, but someday you're going to need us in your darkest hour, just like this person said, when you lose a loved one or have answers to deep spiritual questions. I promise you, TBN will be there. We've been there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for over 35 years. You know, and we all know that tithing, and we talk a lot and hear a lot about tithing. Tithing was never a goal. You know, a lot of Christians scratch and claw to try to get to a 10% tithe. In the Bible, tithing truly was a governor. And God said, okay, you know, the early Christians gave it all. And God said, well, you only really have to give 10%. But, you know, most of us, if we have God flowing through us, really want to give more than that. And I know I do personally, and those of you who do and have done it for 34 years and have supported this ministry, the words thank you truly become inadequate. So stay with me. We've got a very special behind-the-scenes program for you today. Like I said, the prayer partners are here. We are live here Tuesday afternoon at 5 p.m. I've got a very special announcement for you for those of you who are watching us over the air on our older analog stations. So stay tuned. I'm going to tell you about that. I'm going to take you to the Holy Land Experience, where my precious little mom is, and give you some new information on what's going on in Orlando, Florida at the Holy Land Experience. and then our TBN Second Chance Prison Initiative. I'm going to actually give you an update on that in just a few minutes. But like I said, for those of you who weren't able to call in either 2 weeks ago or the phones were jammed or earlier when you were watching Benny, if you couldn't get in, the phones are available now. In fact, we've got 49 phones available. Okay, a very, very important announcement. For those of you who watch TBN over the air, and I got to make that very clear, and I'm not going to get real techie on you, but many of you watch us either with an outside antenna or rabbit ears indoors. On, what is it, Bob? April 16th, we are going off the air with our analog signal in these cities, and you can see them on the screen. Now, that's 2 days away. Today's Tuesday. Thursday's coming up, April 16th. Albuquerque, Philly, Akron, Cleveland, Dallas, Chattanooga, West Palm Beach, Birmingham, Nashville, Houston, Jacksonville, LaSalle, Chicago, Milwaukee, Miami, Mobile, Atlanta, Montgomery, Columbus, Oklahoma City, Phoenix, Portland, Cincinnati, Dayton, San Antonio, Kansas City, and Seattle, Tacoma. The analog signals are going to go dark on Thursday. Now, that's, for many of you may think that's bad news. Really, it's not, because in all of those cities, the digital signals are already up. And if you'll get a new TV set with a digital tuner, you can still watch us free. You can still watch us over the air. And if you want to stay with your old TV set, you can get a little converter box. In fact, let's go, Bob, to the home screen here at our website. This is www.tbn.org. And if you scroll down, you'll see this banner down in the lower left. I'm pointing it out right there. It says, "Don't lose TBN signal." If you'll click on that, it'll actually take you to a website where you can buy a converter box. And they're actually not that expensive. They're about $60 to $80. The government will also now, they've got new coupons available. They will issue you a $40 credit and a coupon to apply to the purchase of a converter box. If you want to stay, like I said, with your old TV set, if you buy a new TV set, in fact, I've seen beautiful little flat screen TVs that are 15, 17 inches that have the digital tuner built in, and I've seen those as low as $129 to $149 for a brand new TV. So it's up to you. You can do what you want. But April 16th, we are going off the air on many of our TBN cities. There, one more time, is the list from Albuquerque to Milwaukee, and then page 2 is Miami on down to Seattle. April 16th, those stations are going off the air. Many of our stations actually, like in Honolulu and New York, and a couple of others, had already gone off. So in those stations, there's nothing to worry about. But if you watch us on DirecTV, Dish, if you're watching us on cable, if you watch us on the internet, if you watch us on IPTV, Sky Angel, or some of the other ways to watch, don't worry. Nothing is going to change. It's only for those of you who watch over-the-air, free over-the-air TV, like I said, with an outdoor antenna. Okay, now this has been a long time coming for TBN. We've actually been planning this transition for close to about 8 years. And the good news for us is it's going to save TBN literally tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in power bills, because we've been running 2 transmitters in many of these cities. We've been running an analog and a digital transmitter. But now, after April 16th, we're going down to just digital only. And like I said, it's a better technology. If you watch us digitally, you're going to get 5 streams of TBN instead of just 1. There's a very clear graphic, thank you, Bob, that shows analog on the right. On the left, if you watch us digitally, you get all 5 of those channels. So it's a good transition and something that we are 99% almost through this thing. And like I said, we've been wrestling with the FCC and wrestling with these regulations for probably 8 to 10 years now, but we are finally at the end of it, and it's going to be a good thing in the long run. Okay, I hope I didn't get too techie on you. Like I said, go to the website if you want more information. There's some good stuff there. But the Holy Land Experience in Orlando, Florida is going great guns. In fact, 2 weeks ago when we had our telethon, Mom and the ladies and Steve Muncie and some of the guys, Jensen Franklin, they were back in Orlando. If you didn't recognize that studio or some of where the audience was in that stage, that was actually in Orlando, Florida at the Holy Land Experience. So we're starting to use that facility to do production. We did it for telethon. Dad and I were actually here in Costa Mesa. Mom and the other gang, they were in Orlando, Florida. But let's go. We've got some wonderful new updates on the Holy Land Experience in Orlando, Florida. Check it out.
Experience love. Experience peace. Experience joy. Experience Jesus at TBN's Holy Land Experience. The Holy Land Experience in Orlando, Florida is an incredible place where you can go back in time and not just see, but experience life in biblical times. Enter through the gates and you're transported to a Jerusalem marketplace with all its unique sights and sounds. Ahead is the Temple Plaza with its gleaming 6-story replica of Herod's Great Temple. And around the corner is Jerusalem AD 66, the world's largest indoor model of Jerusalem. What was life like for Moses and the children of Israel? Experience the Wilderness Tabernacle through an amazing live presentation. Experience the journey of the written word from ancient days to the present in the stunning scriptorium.
I have made the first translation of the complete Latin Bible into English.
With its priceless collection of manuscripts and scrolls. But most of all, experience life with Jesus through a series of powerful reenactments. His teaching,
be broken and spilled up for my people.
His love, His healing, His suffering, His death, and resurrection. You'll even have the opportunity to experience Holy Communion in a unique setting reminiscent of the Last Supper. The Holy Land Experience is filled with many other attractions. Throughout the park, you'll experience inspiring gardens, including the new Church of All Nations Prayer Garden and the Garden of Eden. Unique shops, fascinating demonstrations, and always beautiful music, as well as the incredible crystal living waters. Plus, our youngest visitors can experience the smile of a child Adventureland. What have others said about their experience?
Phenomenal.
I liked it a lot. Fantastic. It's a great family trip.
It's everything that I really needed to hear right now.
It is so much fun.
It's definitely a life-changing experience.
They replay the roles just so beautifully.
It was awesome.
Every time I come, I learn something new.
Come to Holy Land Experience. You will not be disappointed.
Experience love. Experience peace. Experience joy. Experience Jesus at TBN's Holy Land Experience in Orlando, Florida.
Oh my, what a great place. In fact, if you're making your travel plans for this summer, be sure to take a day. It's okay if you want to take the kids to Disneyland or some of the other places. I guess it's Disney World in Orlando. But take a day and plan a day to go. You truly will be blessed. You can see we are really right in the middle of everything. There's Universal Studios just to the south. SeaWorld, Walt Disney World is there. But we are in one of the most prime places in all of Orlando, right near the airport, exit 78 and I-4. And you will truly be blessed. There's kind of an aerial view of the whole park. And a day certainly is adequate to really cover the park, but you really will be blessed. I mean, at the end of the day, you're going to be educated. You're going to learn about the history of the Bible. You're going to learn about the Old Testament. The kids finally have a great place where they can hang out and play and climb on things and learn about the Bible there, too. It's really wonderful and getting better and better all the time. And like I said, my mom has pretty much moved to Orlando. I don't know if she's ever coming back, but making the place better and better every day, and we haven't really mentioned it in quite a while on Behind the Scenes. So if you're heading to the East Coast or heading to Orlando, more specifically, be sure to check it out. You know, TBN is truly a worldwide ministry. We get updates, letters, emails every day, and when you support TBN, and like I said, we're still live at 5, we're still taking pledges. I've got a whole room full of precious prayer partners and data entry people behind me, so call the number on the screen if you have tried to get in and maybe couldn't earlier, a couple of weeks ago, or maybe even earlier in the day. Phone lines are available, or you can actually go online. In fact, I really want to demonstrate that more. If you simply go to www.tbn.org, it's really faster. In fact, I made my pledge this year online. There's a button right at the top, Spring Praise-a-thon. You can click on it if you want to pledge. You click on the pledge form, fill out a few little lines of information, name, address, down at the bottom here, what you want to pledge. Click it, and you're done. And that goes right into our AS400 department. We will mail you a receipt letter with something you can put your check in. It's very, very quick, very easy. And for those that want to make credit card donations, that's on the website too. So, okay, enough about fundraising. Let's talk about results. Like I said, I live in Copenhagen, Denmark. I have 2 children. We watch your programs regularly because they are nice and they teach good, valuable lessons to my only children. Not only to children, but to everyone. May God bless you. This is from Denmark, talking about Smile of Child, one of TBN's programming services. How about Slovenia? A great television. Thank you very much. God bless you. Tomi Rozic from Slovenia. How about Afghanistan? Hello, my name is Barai. I live in Kabul, Afghanistan. I want to help from yours about God, and I want life with God, Jesus Christ. Please invite me. I'm waiting for your help. Sometimes the syntax on some of these aren't the best, but we understand. We have sent information. We send all of these emails and letters that we get like this. We'll send them a Bible when it's appropriate, send them information on salvation. We really do want to follow up and be a help to people that have spiritual needs like this. This one was cool, from Jordan. I'm watching TBN from Jordan, right near the Dead Sea. Thank you for your programs. It's useful out here in the desert and all parts of the world. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That was kind of cool. How about Moscow? Said, thanks for your programs. Though I'm an adult from China living in Moscow, it makes me very happy. Thank you to all the kind members. Thank you who give to TBN and make it possible to reach the world. And many of you have watched us for many, many years and have supported generously. And again, thank you really becomes inadequate. But if you've never supported TBN, I would encourage you to do that. Like I mentioned earlier, if you sup at this table, you really should support and pay where you are spiritually fed and spiritually blessed. This one was good. And I read it earlier, if you missed it, from the United States. It says very simply, I love, 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 for loves, TBN. It has been there for me for 34 years in my darkest hours. And you have no idea how many people write us that very same thing, that they, from hotel rooms, from bars, from different places where you would never imagine people would be watching TBN, but they do. I don't know what I would do without Christian television. It is beyond a blessing. It is like a life preserver to a drowning person. That one I just thrills me when I read that. I may actually frame that and put it in my office. But so help us, support us if you can. And the whole rest of this month we have the love gifts. Bob, I don't know if you have the slide for the 2 love gifts that we're giving away on the left for any call or any pledge. The little silver cross, which is beautiful, beautiful little silver cross with the widow's mite in the middle, and for $25 a month or $251 time. A great documentary that you can share with your family called The Lost Years of Jesus. And these are not, there's no healing power in any of these crosses. There's no anointing on any of these DVDs. They are very simply a way of TBN saying thank you for supporting this ministry for so many years. I'm going to go back to the website in just a minute, but TBN's Second Chance Prison Initiative, we talked about it a couple weeks ago during Telethon. We are wanting to put KU-band satellite dishes in every prison in America, and that's exactly what we're doing. Let's go right now, and I'll give more information on this very special ministry right here at TBN. Take a look.
1 in every 100 people in America is serving time in a prison or jail right now. That's more than 2 million men and women, most of them living lives of defeat and despair inside concrete walls and miles of razor wire. The largest inmate population in U.S. history, often immersed in a sadistic subculture that breeds violence and hopelessness. The majority of them will eventually be released only to commit more crimes that will send them right back behind bars. But there is hope for America's inmates. Studies have shown that men and women who have a genuine encounter with Christ in prison are significantly less likely to repeat their crimes. Christian inmates tell us many of their fellow prisoners have never heard the gospel and are hungry for change.
There's a lot of men in here that they have no other way of living, and they're tired of the same old thing over and over, coming back to prison or being down for the first time. It's not the way they want to live, so they start looking for another way to go.
While most correctional facilities have chaplains, religious services, and help from volunteer ministries, all are limited by time, resources, and availability. That's why Trinity Broadcasting Network has developed TBN Second Chance, a nationwide initiative to provide Christian television completely free of charge to the nation's correctional facilities. Using KU-band technology, TBN will make 4 of its unique faith-based networks available for diverse inmate populations to view 24 hours a day, including JCTV for juvenile offenders, the Church Channel, which features top speakers from various denominations, TBN Enlace USA, offering faith-based programs entirely in Spanish, and TBN, the nation's most requested faith-based channel. TBN is also covering all costs associated with satellite reception equipment and installation. Inmates tell us TBN Second Chance will provide a little taste of heaven in a dark and lonely place.
This is not a nice place to be, and people want to make a change. And when they want to make a change, they look for something to cling to.
Thanks to the generosity of TBN partners, thousands of inmates across America can now cling to messages of hope and redemption around the clock. With each passing week, TBN programming is becoming available in more and more correctional facilities across the U.S., including prisons for men and women, juvenile facilities, jails, and reentry centers. Several states are in the process of installing TBN Second Chance across their entire prison system, including Texas, Florida, Alabama, Kansas, Oklahoma, and South Dakota, with pilot programs currently underway in Ohio, Mississippi, South Carolina, and Louisiana. In the past few months, the nation's 2 largest correctional cable companies have entered into an agreement that allows the addition of Second Chance channels to existing prison cable systems completely free of charge. A partnership that has expanded the reach of Second Chance to every state facility in Colorado and Pennsylvania, as well as the state of Virginia, where prison officials can now opt to add the channels to individual facilities. In addition, the Corrections Corporation of America, the largest private prison operator in the United States, is in the process of bringing TBN programming into all 65 of its facilities nationwide. Altogether, TBN Second Chance is currently positioned to reach more than 500,000 inmates in 24 states with the gospel of Christ. In a time of national recession, Travis Hill says an investment in Second Chance can provide both eternal and present-day benefits.
If guys get out of here going to church, they're not going to get out of here going to crime, and they're not going to be coming back, which is going to cost more taxpayer dollars. And they're not going to be out there robbing and stealing, which also costs taxpayer dollars.
To learn how to get TBN Second Chance into a correctional facility, find out more about the program, or make a donation, simply log on to tbnsecondchance.org, call 619-276-7020, or write to the address on the screen. Together, we can give America's inmates a second chance to make good choices.
Amen, amen. In fact, if you want more information on that, I'll show you the website in a second. But very simply, dear TBN, my name is Jason Kilburn. I'm currently locked up at the Green River Correctional Complex in Kentucky. I just want to thank you for the introductory and introducing the new satellite channels to this facility. I think it is an awesome thing you are doing for the prisons across America. It's truly a blessing from God through people like you and all of you at TBN. We're putting satellite dishes in. In fact, go to the website, Bob, if you would. There's the home page for Second Chance. You can go to technical questions and answers, and you'll see an example of some of the dishes that we're installing. That gets muxed into kind of their cable system in many of the prisons, and they can get all 5. Some of them are actually wanting all 5 of the networks with the church channel, TBN, JCTV, or actually 4 networks. None of them are taking, obviously, the kids programming, but the 4 channels, and then the Enlace Spanish language network is also very much being requested across America. But if you want to help us put dishes in the prisons of America, call right now. We've got prayer partners standing by. We've got phone lines standing by. And like I said, giving should be and is an intrinsic part of our faith. And if God is truly flowing through you, put Him to the test. Give, support, sow your seed into good soil like TBN. I promise you, we are going to take it and evangelize the world. Dad, 36 years ago, took the Great Commission literally when he said, go into all the world and preach the gospel. And through digital television, through programming, through the internet, through everything, all technologies available, we are going to take this gospel around the world. I promise you, I promise you, I promise you. Let's go right now. We're going out with a very special missions roll-in that'll give you more information on exactly what TBN is doing around the world. We'll see you next time.
Jesus said, "Go into all the world and preach the gospel." TBN has been fulfilling this great commission for over 35 years, from the first station in Southern California all the way to the ends of the earth. TBN is going into all the world with God's life-changing message on 10 different networks. Broadcasting from 70 satellites and thousands of TV and cable stations in Africa, Europe, the Middle East, Asia, the South Seas, and South America. With satellites now covering almost the whole globe, TBN is focusing its mission on helping the entire world receive our life-changing signal.
Now we've got to build catchers. We got to have the little dishes. I mean, it's already up there. It's coming down. It's raining down on the whole world. But now we want to be certain that every little household, every little mud hut, every little person on the face of the earth has the little catcher, the little dish.
TBN is going into all the world by supplying small satellite dishes and receivers to local churches and ministries. These dishes enable entire communities to receive the gospel and hear God's plan of salvation. Throughout India, Sri Lanka, and Egypt, believers are being uplifted and encouraged while watching TBN's broadcast.
My family and myself are now saved. I need more of God in my family's life. Please help. This is from Delhi, India. People just thanking God for the programming.
TBN is going into all the world by installing dishes into Russian orphanages, reaching children with the Russian language Smile of a Child network. TBN is currently working with Russian government officials and soon will be broadcasting Smile of a Child over the entire country on Russia's national TV network.
I was here on this set just a few days ago. He said, I will see to it that Smile of a Child is placed upon the federal network that reaches all of Russia.
TBN is going into all the world, reaching men and women in America's prisons. Through the Second Chance Prison Initiative, TBN's goal is to put satellite dishes and receivers into every prison in America.
What we are doing is basically using what's called KU technology or KU satellite technology that reigns TBN over the whole United States. And we're putting the little catcher dishes in every prison in America.
Already, thousands of inmates can watch TBN, the church channel, JCTV, and our Spanish Enlace network 24 hours a day.
Second Chance sounds like a wonderful program, and I think that it's really neat. There's people out there that care. It really is. It touches me.
TBN is going into all the world. From prisons and orphanages to cities to nations and to the ends of the earth. Partner with us in fulfilling God's Great Commission. Call now and support TBN's missions.